The Board of Trustees, BOT, of the New Nigerian People's Party, NNPP, has suspended its candidate in the February 25th presidential election, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, for alleged anti-party activities. The BOT also suspended the National Working Committee, NWC, of the party. It also appointed new national officers headed by Agbo Major as acting national chairman and Ogini Olaposi as acting national secretary alongside 18 orders. Reports say that the suspension is for 6 months. The suspensions were put to avoid votes by members of the party and its Special General Assembly in Lagos. Addressing newsmen at the end of the meeting in Lagos on Tuesday, Secretary of the BOT, Babayo Mohammed Abdullahi, accused Kwankwaso of hobnobbing with President Bola Tinubu, the People's Democratic Party (PDP) presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar, and the presidential candidate of the Labour Party Peter Obi without the board's authorization. Abdullahi announced that Kwankwaso had been stripped of the NNPP national leader status by the board. The secretary of the BOT said the purported suspension of the NNPP founder was a flagrant, gross violation of the party's constitution. Meanwhile, the national leader of the New Nigeria People's Party, Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso, was conspicuously absent at his party held its National Executive Committee meeting in Abuja on Tuesday to ratify the expulsion of the chairman of the Board of Trustees, Boniface Aniobonam, and the National Publicity Secretary, Agbo Major, and 14 others. The NNPP has been rocked by crisis recently as its National Working Committee dissolved 7 state executive committees, as well as the founder and chairman of Board of Trustees, Boniface Aniobonam, and the National Publicity Secretary, Agbo Major. The meeting had the Governor of Kano State, Abba Kabir Yusuf, and the Speaker of the Kano State House of Assembly, Jibrin Falgore, in attendance. Daily Trust gathered that a parallel meeting of the purported expelled members was being held in Lagos. The NEC alleged that they were expelled for forming a parallel board, NWC and SEC. The national chairman of the party, Abubakar Ali, said the NEC was aimed at restructuring the party. He said a 7-member disciplinary committee was set up by the NWC, which reports led to the suspension of the state executive committees. He urged those who have won election on the platform of the party to be good ambassadors as well as emulate Kwankwaso. Is the head of the Hausa Service of Media Trust Group, who monitors political development in the party. Now, Doctor, can you help us unpack, what is happening in the NNPP? I mean, we've seen the NEC ratify the expulsion of the BOT chairman. Also, the BOT also suspended the NEC and Rabiu Kwankwaso, the party's presidential candidate in the 2023 election. What's your take on that? Just give us the analysis from your own perspective.
Well, unfortunately, this is what usually happens after election in so-called small parties in Nigeria. The NNPP is a party that has been in existence for almost 20 years or thereabouts. And Rabiu Kwankwaso and the governor of Kano State, Abba Kabir Yusuf, as well as other elected personalities in the party, members of the National Assembly, are newcomers to the party who have, shall we say, taken over the party because they came with a lot of supporters and became the leaders of the party. And they are the ones that led the party to victory. Now, after the victory, you see that there are people that believe that they are born and bred in the party, the ones that started the party, that have been nursing the party for over 20 years. And these newcomers are seeing that those that started the party have not taken the party to a certain level, and by the time they came into the party, they changed the status of the party. So it's a battle of supremacy over the idea of the party, and also specifically, it has to do with the tension over the alliances or supposed alliance and between the leader of the party, the presidential candidate of the party, Rabiu Kwankwaso, and the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Bola Ahmed Tinubu. They have been seen Kwankwaso meeting with the President Bola Tinubu. At certain points in time, there were even indications that President Tinubu was going to nominate Rabiu Kwankwaso as one of his ministers. So that's where the tension arises in this party. And so...
Go ahead, Doctor.
Okay. And so with this tension, it's a battle of supremacy over who owns the party, who operates the party, and who is in control of the party.
All right, talking about, battle of supremacy, Doctor, we've seen how, the people of Kano State, who are one of the strong, large number, that help the NNPP to, get this strength that they have. I mean, make them known, are already losing faith in this party because of the Kano demolitions and all that is going on. And still, with this, having to deal with the internal battle, in the party, do you think this is smart, for the NNPP to be going through this particular situation at this time that they need to prove themselves as a strong party to the Nigerian citizens?
Now what's happening is, for the NNPP and for all other parties, we only have an alphabet soup in Nigeria. All these parties, politicians are using parties because the Constitution demanded so. If not for the Constitution, they will not be standing on party basis. So the political strategy of Rabiu Musa Kwankwaso is based on his his Kwankwasia movement. So the Kwankwasia can decide right now to leave from one party to another, as they have been doing between PDP, APC, and NNPP. So the people of Kano, and that's why they had their trademark, they still have the trademark red cap, and the people of Kano voted for Kwankwasia movement. It's only for formality's sake that we say that they are voting for NNPP, because that's what the Constitution demanded. If not for that, they wouldn't have any NNPP. So ultimately, this may lead to either the Kwankwasia leaving NNPP to join another party, and there are so many scenarios coming up. We saw Kwankwaso having a meeting with the presidential candidate of the PDP, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and also Kwankwaso having a meeting with the current president of Nigeria, of the APC, Bola Tinubu. So there are two scenarios. Kwankwaso may opt to join with the opposition to battle the APC and go back to the PDP, or Kwankwasia may opt to leave NNPP and go and join the APC and to consolidate the winning party.
Now, where does that leave the NNPP then?
So that means the NNPP probably, the NNPP will still remain as it had always been before. Truth be told, a lot of Nigerians didn't know of the existence of the NNPP before Kwankwasia moved into the NNPP.
All right, Doctor, a quick one. Lastly, now, what do you think would be, the best solution for this battle happening between, in the NNPP party? I mean, as a political development analyst, someone who actually monitors this kind of situation, what do you think is the best outcome for this to be a win-win situation for both Rabiu Kwankwaso and the NNPP?
Now, I think what would be a win-win situation is for both sides to come together and understand that both sides needed one another. So they should come together and decide to leave amicably. Some of them had to relax some of their conditions, and the other side also had to concede some conditions, and then they will come to a settlement.
All right, thank you so much, Dr. Maude Gwadabe, for joining us tonight. He's the head of Hausa Service and of Media Trust Group. Thank you so much, and he monitors